Welcome everyone, Dr. Thor here. Get ready for Gnosis. Well, this is part 4 of how to build your own radionic unit. And what I've shown you in the previous videos is what a typical radionic machine looks like. And it's looked like this for 100 years. And of course, the modern machines are no better. There's a bunch of junk out there that people think they can computerize this. There is numerous dials. I mean, you'll see some dial units, and I have all of these kind of units, and recently just got a couple of new Copen units, which are well made, but they have many, many dials on it. And these are for advanced studies, etc. But these are psychic tuning tools. Now, they've never been any different. There's never been a machine that particularly works on energy, whether it's a Radionic machine, I should say an electricity, whether it's Ruth Drown or anything else. And remember that radionics is not an electrical process. So we have to understand it's not electromagnetic. When you start getting into electromagnetics and frequencies, you've jumped out of radionics, whether this is good or bad. But basically, these are psychic tuning machines. And of course, let's open this up again. I mean, this is what you've got. I call them flow machines. You have an energy that flows from dial 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it goes like this, and it's just flowing through. You're creating an energy grid here, and you're using subtle energy physics. And you have to understand what subtle energy physics are, and you should go to my website and take that course. Very, very important that you understand how all this works. This is what you get in every unit. This is what Ruth Drown did. This is what Abrams did. And I have the machines. I've seen them. I know exactly what the process is. This has not changed. No matter who you get a unit from, you're going to get something that looks like this. Now, some people like to throw in fake electronics that do absolutely nothing. They want to put in transistorized so-called amplifiers that are so weak and pathetic that they do nothing. So all of these things can be part of a circuit depending on the person's ignorance who's building it. A lot of people tend to use crystals like this guy did. As well, and these are the ways of putting things in to try and amplify. Now, the actual intention, focused intention, and focused is an interesting term, and we go into all this stuff in our courses, but focusing on something is not how things work. People are under the impression through very bogus common science that you focus on something, you concentrate on it, you tighten everything and project energy at it like a bad movie or a superhero does to project energy. Well, it doesn't work like this. These higher consciousness functions happen in kind of a semi-detached reality. So what you're doing here, and also you're using actually wires here that don't carry this kind of energy. Now, I've developed wires that carry psychotronic type energies, psychic or concentration. Not really concentration. They carry radionic type energies, which is a high level consciousness energy. I hate to use the term psychic for a whole bunch of reasons, because psychic has been downgraded and degraded, particularly by debunkers, psychotic Christians, and all the other scum out there that the community doesn't confront, because most alternative community people are cowards. So they don't do anything. They allow the clown college graduates to step on them. So the reality that's out there is the fact that this creates a grid of energy. You're focusing your energy. You're sending energy through these. And when you're tuning a unit in, and thinking about a particular energy field, and again, they're just plates like this, however they're put on your machine. All machines have it. When you're tuning this in to try and get a number or a particular numeral representation of an energy form, which is what you're doing when you tune one of these instruments, you are then creating that consciousness link. Now, the bottom line is this has been proven to be effective while no other people have done it, because nobody's done real research except myself and a few other people, virtually no one. But a guy who's been doing this kind of research for 30 years, who wrote the book, The Energy Cure. Everybody should get this. He's got a course He lays out this kind of research, which the impotent and unorganized and really horrible community that's connected to radionics has never been able to do. So, even with all the years of going on, they've been able to do it. But a guy named William Bankston, Energy Cure, look that up, get that book out there. You can find that online, and he has even an audio course telling you how he transfers energy. Now, he has cured people of cancer and just about everything using what is nothing more than intention, and not really focused intention, which is quite interesting. But I'm not going to go into that here because most people that watch these kind of things have the attention span of a cricket. So the whole idea is that we need to understand that. So check out William. 30 years he has done this psychic connection to cure people with proof. So why am I saying? I'm saying that because this is nothing more than a psychic intention machine. It doesn't do anything other than assist you in focusing and creating a numeral symbol representation. Now, you could make a number representation of something, could be a bird. And you then tune in bird on a machine like this, and you get the number, whatever that is. Let's say it's only 3 numbers. It was 718. Now, 718 now becomes the sigil or the number representation of a bird. So I hope people kind of understand it. This whole field is very complicated, takes a lot of training, takes a lot of time, takes a lot of everything. People want to tell you nonsense that everybody has psychic powers. This degrades this amazing thing called the human consciousness and this interesting and wonderful technology to think, hey, any idiot can do it. If you're into computers and work for the government, I know better. So the whole idea is you have a lot of boobus people that do this that are really insulting the field. But let's move on. So the whole idea is you're putting an intention in here. You're taking that intention energy. You're making a sigil out of it. You are then sending it to that person. Now, this is what William Bankston has done for 30 years without using any instrumentation, so he claims, and has got amazing results. Unfortunately, like all these people, they have a lack of understanding of subtle energy physics. And of course, that's what this is all covered. This is subtle energy physics. Now, there's a big hole in the problem with these types of machines. And the psychic intention, which is done here, the actual goes out. And amazingly, these types of technology works. Now, the problem is, what percentage of work does it have? I've talked to a lot of people, and they all make outrageous claims. Oh, I do this and I do that, and it works. Yeah, that's why everybody's sick. Come on. Point is that, yes, we know this works, and we need to define the technology to get it to work in general. Some people have stated that certain machines, like Hieronymus-type machines, don't work for anywhere from 20 to 30% of the population for a number of reasons. Well, I think that's being very generous. It's more like 80 to 90% of the population can't get this technology to work for them. And of course, they're trained poorly, they have crappily built machines, and it just goes on and on by people that have no idea what it's about. So, the reason why I picked this machine in general is this is a real crappy, cheaply made machine. Really poorly put together, even though the guy did good wiring. The connections are nice and strong. It was wired well. You can't pull these wires off easily. The wiring here is done well, but like so many electronic people I've dealt with, the minute it comes to dealing with enclosures, nice plates, other things, the details turn into poop. So we do have to understand that as well. They don't have very much aesthetics, they don't understand things, and of course, they fall down in many areas. So we have to understand all that in the bigger picture of that. Now, so as I said, if you understand the projection of intention and energy is at a particular target, and the whole Bankston story is quite fascinating because as a really good researcher, he went out and found people that have no interest in it, don't believe in it, are detached from it. And if you read the stories, it's quite fascinating. These people who you would consider virtual debunkers who laughed at the technology, but were involved in the process. And again, this is a long lecture, which I won't bore everyone with. I'm sure you have Green Acres to watch. Is Zorro on? So the whole idea is that we have all these things out there that we can understand here that he has done in particular. So very fascinating research that is very well documented. As I said, unfortunately, he's producing worthless tinctures because he doesn't know how to transfer subtle energies into substances and isn't seeking professionals to help him with that. So all of that goes with that. But there's a major void here, and this is where we run into it. Now, all this is a psychic focusing tuner. Well, that's not good enough. I mean, what's the point of that? I mean, that's why I don't make too many physical machines, because we use a lot of specially made and empowered symbolic machines and images that have been proven for over 60 years to work fantastically and are low cost. You don't need to spend hundreds of dollars on something like this unless you're getting the much more advanced stuff. So the whole idea is that we need to keep that in mind in the bigger picture. So we need to understand the processes that go on. Now, as I said, as a foundation to understand how all these energies work, you use the Bankston system. And he has a unique way of visualizing, projecting energies that are unique to him, which I have used and I do find to be fairly effective. I like his visualization method. I think it fits modern times. But all that is projecting energy. And all this is projecting energy and creating a number code to represent an energy field. So I hope everybody understands that. And again, all the machines are like that. You think that this is silly and doesn't make any sense? Well, go talk to Ruth Drown. Go talk to Hieronymus. Go talk to Abrams. They all have machines like this. Bruce Copen, who makes wonderful looking machines with 1 billion dials that you could spend your life tuning in. Pretty interesting stuff. But if you look at Bruce Copen, you'll find out that his tuners are exactly like this. And he has other things that I'm not really sure electricity's going through them or not, but the light comes on. And of course, people claim they're getting results from all these things. But of course, there's no proof of this. There's no documentation from anybody, anywhere, anytime, any place. And of course, this makes the field laughable. So we must keep that in mind as we go through all of these things. So what do we have here? Now, well, the problem is this, and what I've worked out is that the tuning capacity of many things is not all that important, even though it's part of the process. If you are not amplifying these energies coming out with my specially designed tube amplifier, which is here, and of course, we don't use wires anymore. We transfer the energy the way it should be, since it's not electromagnetic, through a special system of transferring energy. The other thing we do is we change the molecular structure of this at the subatomic level through special process only known to radionic tech, so that these machines can handle the energy coming from this type of a signal. This type of a projection is unique. It's high consciousness energy, and you need machines that can handle that. And of course, the electrical process through tube amplification is critical. So if you're not using tubes, if you're not using a amplifier that has been changed at the subatomic level like I do, then you're not going to get good results. But you need to amplify this extremely weak energy that you get from a machine like this. So you need to amplify this, or you get fairly poor results. You're getting back into strictly what becomes on a low psychic level. And unfortunately, psychic powers are very weak. So we have special plates that we insert underneath there to change this, to activate it for the individual person, to change the energy that's going in here at a particular subatomic level. Those things are then able to transfer the energy to another one. And of course, we use special plates to do that. We don't use wires any longer. Using a copper wire designed for the electromagnetic spectrum is kind of stupid. And you guys remember that people are copying technologies that are 100 years old. These people, people like Brown, Abrams, they didn't even know what a laser was. Tubes even came after that. I mean, in Abrams' time, there was very primitive electronics. And even as we get into Ruth Drown in the 40s and 50s, there's still very primitive electronics. But they used what they had. Once you've got the signal here amplified, and of course that's getting the energy out to the target better, you want to use a little bit of transmitter technology. You just want to kind of get it out into the universe a little better. So you have to use a transmitter again. And again, our transmitters are specially trained at the subatomic level through our special process that only radionic tech is familiar with. And you got to remember, I've been in this field for over 40 years. I'm the radionic expert on the planet. I've written 35 books, 5 courses. I've been on BBC, CNN, Art Bell. I've done a whole bunch of stuff for a long period of time. No one comes close to my knowledge. Secondly, I've worked with all the machines. I've worked with Abrams, Drown. I've worked with all of the machines that we have today. Hieronymus, you name it, I've tried them all. And I've worked with them, and I know exactly how they work and what they do. And they're all very simple. So that's something we have to keep very, very clearly in mind. And of course, times have changed. Electronics have changed. We now have pretty nice electronics, things like lasers and other things that are now inexpensive when they used to be thousands of dollars for the same laser you can pick up now for $20. So it's quite amazing to understand that. But when you're dealing with this kind of subtle energies, which are pure psychic in nature, you run into extremely difficult problems with the fact of they are very weak. Results are going to be scattered and so forth. If this stuff works so well as a lot of liars you'll listen to from every medium, then why would anybody have problems? Why would anybody be sick or anything else? I just recently watched a boob talk about how he cured everything, yet he's a guy that has serious illness himself that he can't cure. And of course, anytime there's proof involved, so the whole idea is you've got serious problems with these kind of boobs that are out there telling you lies. Or people that want to make it into a phone app. Oh, it's a phone app. All you got to do is do that. This is just complete crap, and it should be treated like it is. It should be thought of as the toilet paper it is, and it should be wiped with the feces and flushed down the toilet. So we have to all understand this kind of nonsense that we get into with this entire technology and the ridiculous claims we get from most people. And we get this from every industry. It has nothing to do with the alternative industry. We get the same thing with the bogus medical drugs, the bogus everything that has been produced by this really messed up evil society. It's all fantasy, with a minor success rate, which is in spite of the technology, not because of it. So again, if you're not putting this kind of technology through an amplifier, through a transmitter, well, you're not strong enough. Now, the bottom line is that you can use this kind of technology here with any machine you have. So if you have a machine, you like it, no matter what it is, you can pretty much add this on. Not pretty much, you can. All you've got to do is use the plates we send you. It hooks up in less than 3 minutes. You insert the plates, you activate the system, and then the energy from your machine, no matter who makes it, will actually go into it. You do have to be careful if you have any orgone-based machine. You're going to have to make sure you have a clearing plate as well, because the energy in those machines are really bad. So we have to be very careful. And again, people have been lied to and so forth, and the bogus garbage brought out by so many people is really kind of frightening. But the point is that depending on your machine, you just can get these things upgraded. You don't have to buy a whole system. Get your upgraded tools and then get out there and start producing at high levels. So when you add these two tools onto any machine, you've tripled the power. There's no power in this. It's all based on your consciousness energy, which is not tuned correctly. You're not practiced. You don't know how to center yourself. You haven't opened up the energy that creates this kind of thing. All of that is required to get high level results. So you got to have these kind of extras. So it's really shocking that people aren't out there using these kind of things, which aren't that expensive, to upgrade their technologies. You like your old machine, you're comfortable with it. A lot of people have invested thousands. Well, first of all, if you've got one of the really bad toxic orgone machines out there, you're going to have to get a clearing plate. Secondly, you're going to have to then amplify it to amplifiers that work. These are specially made in a special process that only radionic tech knows about. So if you don't have radionic tech stuff, you can't go out and just get a transmitter. You can't just go out and get an actual tube amplifier. That will help at a very low level. We have changed this at a molecular level to grasp this particular type of energy so that it flows in here. It's able to grab that energy, amplify it, and bring it to the target. Simple as that. So this kind of system gives you amazing results. But remember, nothing in life is an Aladdin's lamp. That's a fantasy generated by Hollywood. If you want to live in a Hollywood reality, then you're going to be very disappointed in life. Hollywood, in case you didn't know, is all fake. So it's not real. That's why they're movies. So all of these things is quite interesting to find out the bigger picture of what went on with everything. So the bigger picture is the fact that you need a complete system. And quite frankly, you don't need any tuning dials at all. We have great systems that use special energy generating plates, kind of symbolic, but not really. All you've got to do is have a symbolic system, send that energy into here, and you've done the same thing. This really, in many ways, disempowers you. And when you're trying to use a particular type of energy, see how badly this is made. If you're trying to use a particular energy, this particular high consciousness energy, it's not psychic energy purely. It's quite higher level than that. And you try and put them through copper wires like this, you lose a huge amount of the energy instead of sending it to the target. So hopefully that's very clear. That kind of wraps up this particular unit. We'll be showing more units. And of course, if you're a Patreon and All Access member, you can actually see the insides of a lot of machines like this. We'll show you the actual inside workings, what's in these machines, which I've opened them all up. And there, as I said, there's nothing in radionic machines. They're empty. That all you get is the same kind of dialings you have here on every single machine made. And so some big people can put little goofy things in there. They can add junk technology, radio transmitter, all the stuff that doesn't work. This is idiot technology. And the fact is these people, many of them, are out there misleading you deliberately. And some machines are highly toxic and dangerous, and there's a long line of dead people who have used particularly orgonite. So we have to be very, very careful of what's going on, including the inventor, by the way. So the whole idea is that we have to really be careful what's going on here. And this entire area of study has come under attack in the last 20, 30 years to cause chaos, to produce junk, and so forth. Why? Because this simple technology, when done right, is awesome. So that's the amazing thing about it. Sometimes it's the most simplistic, straightforward things that hold the greatest empowerment. So we do have to, of course, watch that. And we have to be very careful with the reality that is going on there with all of that. So this is the reality. You can use your own machine if you have one. You can get a simple dial unit. You can get a simple symbolic unit. That has to then feed into this. And of course, proper training is important. If you don't understand the science of manifesting, if you are not going to center yourself, meaning learning how to use your mind directly, if you haven't activated the power centers within and without of you, these all things cut down your manifesting. You just want to dial a machine. This is not a machine. This is a consciousness machine. There are no radionic machines that work like that. that you just turn the dials, punch something into it, and something happens. It just doesn't work like that. It comes from a consciousness. Now, people want to tell you that. They want to make digital machines. And the fact of all this stuff was so wonderful, why is anybody sick? We just lost millions of people in whatever this pandemic was, and we continue to have people dying everywhere. And the bottom line is that nothing seems to be helping anybody. And there's no proof that anything happens. When somebody says, yeah, I did this, but I can't talk about it, jog on, because you're a liar. Plenty of people can give anecdotal data. They can prove it to me personally. I will keep you secret. You proved you've healed somebody with proper data, using whatever technology you have, and I will make sure that I record it like I've done for over 30 years. I will record it and so forth. There's no danger to you whatsoever in anything that you're doing. So let's prove it. If you have something that works, if you can make something work, but it doesn't necessarily mean the technology works. It means that you are able to project that particular energy properly. But I can tell you right now, it just doesn't work. All this stuff is a bunch of nonsense in general, and there are a few high-level operators of really what is junk technology that get results because they are high-level consciousness people that can channel this energy and make it work. But that's far and few between. And there's virtually nothing out there that has been properly researched and recorded. And a lot of people claim it's because of harassment. Well, not really. A lot of it is the fact that there's just a lot of bogus people with bogus realities out there that are kind of pulling the wool over your eyes. So if we're going to make this into a real technology and have something out there, we need to make sure that all these things are done in a proper fashion and recorded properly. So hopefully this has been a great assistance. Until next time.